Hi everybody, thanks for coming back for another video. So I said I'd be back fairly soon and I've got to be. I am trying my best, right, to just stay on top of the William and Catherine stuff, and every time I get close to just doing a video for them, it turns out like wasps at a picnic, they're back. Oh, we knew that they'd be playing up. We knew that they would do absolutely everything to try and get attention on them. The newspapers are running with, it's a declaration of war. I think it's more of a case of, yoo-hoo, hi, us, we're over here, don't forget us, woo. I think that sums it up personally. And obviously, you know what I'm talking about. We've had a 59-second video drop of their Netflix trailer, and trust me, 59 seconds is enough. So I'm going to go through that with you, but before we get started on this, don't worry, Catherine and William are going to have a very spectacular video coming to you where I'm going to cover, and now we'll be able to include whatever dress Catherine will be wearing tonight, because you know it's going to be phenomenal. Princess stuff, real princess fairy tale beautiful dresses, and I can't wait. So with everyone saying it's a declaration of war, they're going to take down the monarchy, you are giving them far, far, far too much credit. Firstly, I'd like to point out that, war is generally, when two sides have an argument. This is not war. This is purely Harry and Meghan attacking the royal family. And in this instance, they are directing all of it, trying to get attention away from Catherine and William, the Prince and Princess of Wales. I can only imagine when King Charles did his address and appointed them Prince and Princess of Wales, Meghan's been plotting this from round about that time, if not from the day that she and Harry got married, which I will come to shortly. I can't understand how anyone could be remotely surprised, however, with Harry and Meghan doing this onslaught of PR games that they have done with the Earthshot Prize going on. It's predictable. You could synchronise your watches to it. Admittedly, I didn't expect as much in quick succession, but now that it's happened, I'm actually like, well, no, that didn't shock me at all. I personally feel that they have stooped to a level of desperation. It's absolutely comical, and I have found this absolutely hilarious. So I will try not to giggle throughout this, but I hope that I can bring a smile to your faces, because you shouldn't get upset with Harry and Meghan, because they're a joke. They really are. First up, first PR tactic that we had was Meghan served up her child on a silver platter. We had a photograph. The newspapers ran with it as well, stupidly. A photograph has been released of Archie sitting on Meghan's lap with Doria on a Zoom call. I'd like to point out that Zoom call actually happened back in August. Meghan, or whoever it was that released it, didn't have permission to show Archie's face then, because she wasn't that desperate for attention. And he had an emoji on his face. So obviously they've now been granted, right, okay, now you can do it. Now that we've got the Earthshot Prize going on, release the child. It's absolutely ridiculous, totally predictable. And I just don't understand why the media don't pick up on this before they run with the stories. Second, we had the Invictus Games trailer drop. Yes, we thought one trailer would be enough, but no, Netflix has gone, right, let's launch the big weapons. Let's get the big guns out. Not really. The Invictus Games is all to do with veterans. Everyone knows what it is. It is about overcoming challenges, competing in sports. It's absolutely inspirational. So what do we have as the trailer? Meghan quite clearly has taken over artistic direction. Black and white, cheesy. Meghan and Harry giving each other loved up looks and little smirks as they're about to start playing table tennis. But of course, it's Harry and Meghan. Why? Why? This is about the athletes. It's about the charity, the heart of Invictus. Here's Meghan about to smash Harry's balls across the table. I mean, come on. Thirdly, we've had the official photographs, because the media was not allowed, because Meghan wanted to control the narrative to make sure that no photographs were released of empty tables at the Marriott's in Indianapolis, where she gave her speech, An Evening with Meghan, The Power of Women. So I'm going to talk about this more in the next video, because we've got the photographs that she has released, and then we've got the photographs that she did not know were being taken, which seems to show the truer face of Meghan, in my opinion. But I will get round to talking more about that in the next video. So they saved the big kahuna, didn't they? They saved it to be released last night, the Netflix drop of their love story trailer. Whoop, yep, there you go. Anyone that's having breakfast or lunch, I do apologise. So they have deliberately deliberately timed it. So what happens is last night, so it guaranteed, and it worked, I have been to the shop, every single newspaper, front page is all the different photographs of Harry and Meghan. As I said, declaration of war, you know, all of these kind of like tantalising headlines trying to get people to buy it. Oh, Harry and Meghan are upset with the royal family. Again, Harry and Meghan are going to tell people how in love they are. Again, and it puts people off, to be honest with you. Normally when I go to my shop this time of day, all of the newspapers are gone, to the point my mum often rings me and says, can you pick me up a paper? I can tell you pretty much all the newspapers were still stacked up pretty high. They are off-putting. We are oversaturated with them, and no one in their right mind, apart from their dwindling fan base, wants to read about or talk about or see their love story again. But the fact that they have deliberately timed this shows a level of pettiness, which we knew that they had. We knew that they have timed so many things, even when they were part of the royal family. They see it as a big competition. But so caught up in this pathetic game of one-upmanship, Harry and Meghan preach about the environment. Harry and Meghan talk about their children and wanting them to have a better future. They talk about wanting to shine a light and a lens on all these different charities that are helping people. Whilst they are so engrossed with their obsession of trying to outdo Catherine and William, they have managed to take away headlines and news about the charities, the people of Boston, the different organisations and foundations that are out there that Catherine and William are using their platform to bring worldwide attention to. So Harry and Meghan have literally shot themselves in the foot here by saying, yes, we care about the planet. Well, you're so hell-bent on trying to cause revenge, you're actually taking away the light from charities and people that are out there that are doing things to change the world. And of course, the Earthshot Prize, where it is real people, from school children to scientists to Sally working in her back room, just a name I'm throwing out there, but people that come up with ideas that then can be turned into reality. And it's about actually making genuine changes to making the world a better place. But no, Harry and Meghan decided to launch their love story, which looks like a cheesy Kardashian reality TV show. So slow clap. Well done. So what have they actually achieved? Well, they've achieved that, and then they've also managed to prove people like me and lots of other people completely correct. They are desperate, they are vengeful, they are attention seeking, they are obsessed with trying to attack their own families, and that to me is very, very mentally unhealthy. They're spiteful, and they seem to think that the world revolves around them in true narcissistic style. Whilst the UK media might be willing to play their silly little games that they seem obsessed with, it seems that no one in Boston actually cares. As I said, I've got friends out there, I've got people actually messaging me on social media saying they're not in the headlines. It is absolute Catherine and William Earthshot mania in Boston. So Twitter is actually trending Meghan's name, which I'm sure she loves, but it's not in the way that I'm sure she would genuinely love. Meghan Markle is toxic. Now this will make you laugh, and this will tell you people's genuine feelings of what's really going on, and that is the YouTube trailer for the Netflix love story. So far this morning I checked on social media, and this person posted that it had over 71,000 dislikes and counting. I think by the end of today it's going to be definitely in the hundreds of thousands. So let's get on and assess and dissect and talk about this 59-second hellish trailer of their love story. So the dramatic piano keys play in the background. The first picture, their big Hollywood starry-eyed umbrella photograph. And they were booed at this event when they turned up because they'd already done Megxit. I think their final 3 events, they got booed at every single one of them. But, you know, the press and the media tried to cover it up a little bit. This is also the event that Meghan got captured on dragging Harry away from talking to a disabled veteran who was sitting out there in the rain, and then also leading him around and pulling him about that event like he was a dog on a leash. Then this is when the real personal photos start. Yes, they've opened up their personal intimate photo album for the world. We've got Harry playing a song on the guitar for Meghan. How romantic. Staring at each other, loved up, holding his leg. It's like no one else is there. But who is taking the photograph? Such an intimate moment, perfectly captured. Next photograph we have, I'm presuming it's one of their first dates and holiday to Botswana. The reason for this is Meghan is wearing her very well worn and favourite hat. Harry has his hair, is smiling and looks happy and healthy. Quickly on to the second picture, and I would say the same. Nothing says more than Instagram than this shot, jumping in the air, perfectly timed and captured by the waiting photographer. I take pictures when I go on holiday with my husband. He takes pictures of me, but that's it. It's a picture of one. It's very rare there's a picture of us both together, normally when we've got a waiter to take a photograph, because you are taking pictures of each other, because that is intimate and personal, because it's just you two in love on holiday. Then we have a film set shot. Between takes, I'd say, says absolutely everything about this show. Look at it. First of all, you've got Meghan pulling her hair up. This is where she's getting her instruction from the photographer. Meghan, can you just place your hair over your left shoulder? Now, Harry, can you lean in for the kiss? That's it. We can see your face now, Meghan. How perfectly romantic and intimate. We've got a happy dancing wedding photograph of the blushing bride swinging her prize around the dance floor. An event so exclusive, it was filled with A-list strangers, and Harry's friends and certain family members were actually barred from attending the evening reception, alongside Meghan's former family, her Suits cast friends. Yes, she was so close to them, they were only allowed to come to the day. And obviously, as we know, Meghan's entire family, with the exception of her mother, was barred from the event as well. Again, so romantic. Now we've got Meghan in a photo booth dressing up Harry like he's Brad Pitt. I guess whatever it is that helped her get through it. In the second photograph, we have got her in the photo booth again, kissing Harry, or rather Harry kissing Meghan. Ooh, where have we seen this before? Now, there's lots of photographs of Meghan when she was with her first partner and husband, Trevor Ingleson. Now, Meghan, I think she genuinely looked loved up here because she's smushing her face into his. She's absolutely kissing him on the cheek. She didn't care who was watching, who was looking. Any other man that's been in her life since, they are a prop that is positioned to frame her face, her perfect crinkled grin and smile, which shows how loved and worshipped that she was by these men in her life. Another photograph of Harry sitting there with Meghan with his guitar in the background. I might be guessing perhaps Corey played the guitar, because I'd imagine that this photograph, seeing as they were dating and this was in Canada, Corey was probably at work when this was taken. They then have a shot of Meghan with the sun behind her, highlighting a very clever way that she thought of carrying home the beach ball she'd just allowed Harry to play with in the sea. The next shot screams that Meghan was doing a selfie and Harry just photobombed her. She looks completely unimpressed, doesn't she? Then we have a shot of Meghan back in Canada. Presumably this is when she was still with Corey, because she has both dogs. The second dog, Bogart, I believe his name was, she dumped him and left him behind in Canada because he didn't like Harry. Maybe he wasn't sure on Harry given the fact that she was living with Corey. It could have caused some confusion for the poor doggy at the time. Plus, I'd say Bogart was an incredibly good judge of character. On to the next, we have a favourite shot of Meghan, the black and white photograph of them holding hands and walking away. Personally, seeing the back of them is the best view that anyone could ask for these days. Harry's voiceover then comes in and it makes it more dramatic. He says that no one sees what's happening behind closed doors. Yes, Harry, because that's what the rest of the world call privacy. Obviously, this was Harry creating a build-up to a deeply emotional moment of Meghan sobbing. Or laughing, I'm not sure. It's hard to tell because she's got her hand across her face. A $2,000 Hermes blanket positioned perfectly behind her as she leans forward over her phone. It adds a certain Vogue feel to the deeply intimate photograph, taken, of course, by someone else in the room. Now you've got to think to yourself, who is that person taking that photograph? If it is Harry, your wife is sobbing, surely you would comfort her. I know that I would be fairly upset with my husband if in a deeply emotional moment I'm crying my eyes out and my husband goes, hold that pose a minute. Ka-ching! That's perfect for Instagram, babe. You know, it's so contrived. So what could Meghan possibly have been crying about in this particular shot? Well, I'm going to introduce two of my friends. Glenn seems to think that it might have been the moment when she saw the sails of the bench. I think that's quite possible. Then you have my friend Jules, who thinks that it might have possibly been the moment when she saw Catherine at the James Bond movie premiere in the gold dress. Both of these answers are quite probable. And I say to you guys, please have fun in the comments. Tell me what you think that Meghan possibly could be crying over. So now we move on to the next photograph. This is why we were shown the photograph of Meghan crying. It is an image of Catherine and William and Camilla looking angry and scowling, and Meghan with her big oversized pillbox hat in the background, looking like a little angel with a halo above her head. It's Meghan crying to this photograph. The newspapers have picked up on it, saying that this is the declaration of war. They are trying to imply by putting these images back to back with the piano music in the background, and Harry's saying, you just don't know what happens behind closed doors. It's the evil Prince William and Queen Camilla and the nasty, evil Princess Catherine. Sarah Vine hit the nail on the head, and she said they might as well at this moment have painted devil horns and a moustache on Catherine. That is the level of the maturity of this film director, or again, this could be Meghan's choice of photographs. Now, in the next image, this one, if this is supposed to portray Meghan looking sad on the balcony, I have to say this is the ultimate resting bitch face. I'm sorry, but it is. She looks like she's looking down. Bearing in mind, it's a very emotional day. It's at the cenotaph. There's lots of veterans down there, lots of emotion. And Meghan is looking down on them like they are ants she wants to squish. You know what she's thinking in her head. I'm dressed up like Diana, and I can't believe that I'm not getting paid for this. The next image is a mass number of photographers all piling over each other to take photographs, I'm presuming, of everyone but Meghan. She didn't command photographs like this. This might have been Diana, it might have been Catherine and William, it could have been other members of the royal family, but let's be honest, outside of the royal wedding, Meghan was never hounded by the press, but you know this is why it's been placed here. The evil paparazzi. Harry's back sitting in his armchair. I had to do everything I could to protect my family, like he rescued them from a war zone. And I've got to say here, listen up, you ginger whinger. We remember you when you declared Mexit. It's all over the internet. You can't pretend that you didn't demand to remain full-time working royals, to get all of the privileges, to have your taxpayer-funded security allowances. You wanted to keep absolutely every perk from the charities, the patronages, the home, absolutely everything, but still be able to earn money commercially by selling being part of the royal family. We don't forget that. There was no escaping it and protecting. These stories of the cruel, vile treatment they had only started coming out after they were told, no, they cannot have their cake and eat it at the Sandringham summit. Not everyone might remember, but the internet always will. Now, obviously, with Harry saying about how he had to protect his family and do everything to protect them, we have an emotional image of Meghan crying again. One tear, left eye, Meghan, go! I'm presuming this shot is as she's being driven off to the tower that Meghan was kept in, you know, when her passport and her keys were taken away from her. She was back off to the Tower of London, and Harry just had to wave goodbye as his wife sobbed. Now we are treated to a quick burst of lots of photographs from parades and crowds, presumably from the Queen's Jubilee. And then we get lots of photographs of Harry from baby to man baby. And then you have a flurry of pictures of Meghan, who has conveniently managed to erase every trace of Thomas Markle throughout her history. But then we are quickly back to Meghan crying on the sofa. Yes, another photograph of poor Meghan crying. This time she's seriously crying. We know she's seriously crying because she's not using one hand, she is using both hands, just to emphasize how upset she truly is. Obviously, this was taken in what looks like a scene from Suits. Harry is perfectly positioned the right distance away, so when he throws his head back, you can have the moment, the emotion perfectly captured. I can only presume that Meghan was telling Harry about how when she was 11 years old, she had a washing up commercial removed from TV and received a letter from Hillary Clinton. Then boom, thankfully the 59 long seconds are up and we are left with Meghan talking to the interviewer. When the stakes are so high, doesn't it make sense to hear our story from us again and again and again and one more time? I wonder what version of events that we are going to be told throughout this 6-part docu-series reality TV show, given the fact that Meghan has tried to distance herself from it. I'm presuming that the fact checkers are literally tearing their hair out. So what do we overall get from this 59 seconds of painstaking, emotionally intimate private moments of the couple that are soon to be aired next week? Well, we get the general storyline of the poor, tortured biracial girl brought up by her single black mother meets a white prince that lives in another country, and they fall really, 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 really in love, and he rescues her. They have to fight against the evil royal family, the racist press, and the trolls to barely escape with their lives. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Mimi! Seriously, they are the masters, the creators, the authors of their own demise. They are a laughing stock. Honestly, I see people getting upset thinking that they're actually damaging the monarchy. They're not damaging the monarchy. The only thing they damage is their own reputations. And I'm here for every bit of it. You know, recollections may vary. They give them enough rope. They've had more than enough rope. As I said, they literally are their own destruction. And I'm here for every single step of it. So take care, guys. I will be back with you very soon. Take care for now. Bye.
If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.